Hi guys, I'm Josh Wade, IFBB Pro Bodybuilder, All Max Nutrition sponsored athlete, here at Dave Fisher's Powerhouse Gym in Torrance, California. Gonna take you through some training tips, some of my favorite exercises to do. All right guys, one of the newest products from All Max Nutrition is Impact Pump. Everybody knows I'm a huge Impact Igniter pre-workout fan. Impact Pump is very similar as far as the formulation, minus the caffeine. So it can be used as a pre-workout, non-stim pre-workout. Because I take Impact Igniter and I love it, I use Impact Pump as an intra-workout. So it's got an extra 6 grams of citrulline, agmatine. They added glycerol to maximize that muscle pump. So that's why I take it intra-workout, but it doesn't have the stimulants, doesn't have the caffeine that Impact Igniter has, so I'm not doubling up the caffeine. It also does not have the beta-alanine, which I get from Impact Igniter to help buffer lactic acid. So I'm not getting a double dose of the ingredients I don't want. So Impact Igniter pre, and then definitely the new Impact Pump Intra, and it is skin splitting pumps. Hey guys, today we're doing quads. I do sometimes split up my leg workouts, doing a straight quad focus workout and a straight hamstring focus workout. That's what we're doing today. If I don't do that, I normally like to start with one hamstring exercise. It gets a good pump in the hamstrings, almost makes it more springy out of the squat. But if I don't, which today, I started straight with squats. Because obviously I have a little older knees and joints, I normally do quite a few warm-up sets with the squat, with the free bar. I'll start with basically standard 15, 20 reps, get the knees really warmed up and lubricated, and then normally work my way up, working in normally the 10 to 12 rep range, even if it's not basically working to temporary muscle failure. I might just hit 10 reps, increase the weight, hit 10 reps. It's a matter of making sure that I feel ready to go before I start going with a heavy load. Even still, when I get to a heavy load, I really don't like to work less than 8 reps on the squat. I think I built a good foundation with a lot of the heavier weight. Now I'm trying to keep a little bit more constant tension. So if you notice, I keep a lot of controlled descent, and then I do try to explode out of the bottom, still keeping it in the 8 to 10 rep range normally. And that's the way that I feel the best, the most amount of stimulation pump. When it starts feeling hard to get a controlled descent, obviously the legs are really working and the burn is nasty. All right, now we're moving on to hack squats. So, you know, I get a lot of people that have been around the bodybuilding scene have heard that I get a lot of the Dorian Yates comparisons. It's the dry, grainy body type, facial expressions. But anyways, this exercise and this foot position I primarily picked up from Dorian. You know, Dorian, as everybody knows, built the majority of his legs, his outer sweeps on hack squats. I've done the same. I have a high vastus lateralis insertion on the outside, so I really need to build the sweep. So the foot positioning that I normally like to use is slightly pigeon-toed. I keep my toes in, keep my heels out, and almost keep my knees together during the whole exercise. That puts a lot of extra tension on the outer sweep, the vastus lateralis, and that's what's really, I accredit a lot of my outer sweep development to that closed stance position on the hack squat. My rep range normally I like to try to keep around the 10 to 12 rep range again, very similar to what I do on squats. Again, I'm not trying to go too much of a load. I'm trying to keep a lot of time under tension. I feel like that's the best way to get the stimulation through the quads. So normally about 10 to 12 rep range. There's a lot of times I'll add an intensity factor to the hack squat by doing drop sets. So I'll work my way to maybe a heavy 8 to 10, strip a plate, do another 8 to 10, and so on for another basically 2 drops. It's a great finisher, puts a nasty pump in there, and then at that point you don't have to worry about stabilization like doing a drop set on the free squat. So hack squats are great to do drop sets on to finish with an intensifier. Sometimes people start with leg extensions as a pre-exhaust, and I occasionally do that, but I prefer to use a leg extension as a finisher. I feel like after the knees are warmed up, already squatted, then you can really focus on the contractions of the leg extension. So I normally, if you'll see, I normally like to hold for a split second, keeping the resistance. So flexing against resistance, instead of just moving the weight up and down, I'm flexing against resistance. And I really feel the rectus femur is starting to engage when I get that full extension. So there's other ways that I like to finish the leg extension as well. One way I like to finish my last set of leg extensions is what are called cluster sets. Cluster sets are when you take your first set to almost temporary muscle failure, normally leaving a couple reps in the tank, wait 20 seconds, Then take the next set to failure, wait another 20 seconds, and then take the last set to absolute muscle failure. Sometimes doing iso holds at the bottom to try to really make sure those quads are finished. And without changing the weight, it's a good way to make sure that you just engorge the quads with as much blood as possible to finish them off. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Again, Josh Wade here, IFBB Pro, All Max Nutrition sponsored athlete. Got to give a big thanks to Muscular Development, musculardevelopment.com, and at Team All Max. Got to follow along. There's going to be continuous content being put out. Hopefully it helps you guys. Stay tuned. Josh Wade, out.